everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll be making a DIY light up plant stand.
And I'm really excited because we're going to be using this new type of LED. We've never used this on this channel before, so I'm really excited to see how we set this up and how it's going to look.
Yep. So as usual, we're first going to start with everything that you need to make it. First up, you will need some 2x4s.
For this structure, you can use either 2 or 3 2x4s depending on how big you want the structure and how many plants you want to fit inside.
We will also need the light that you would like to use. I'll have everything linked down below, but basically this is just a cool white toned LED light strip. But they also have LED strips that are meant for growing plants, which do come in purple and red colors. But these are indoor plants, so we're not too worried about lighting. We also have lots of windows in our home.
And this one plugs into the wall. It's not battery operated. They do sell battery operated LEDs. If you have a plug, you could even set it on a timer.
And then also these are waterproof lights. So if you wanted to use them outside or even just having them around your plants and you're adding water to your plants, it's okay if the water gets on these lights. And then as far as tools, we will need drill bits per usual, which is the next item you will need. Some wood screws. You'll need some that are,
so this is a 2x4, so you need at least
2.5 or bigger.
Screw. Good thing we have that.
Be sure your screws are longer than the width of the wood that you're using. So we're using a 2-inch board, so we want them to be longer than 2 inches so that they go through to the other side.
Yep.
And then the last tool you will need is some type of saw to cut your wood. If you do not have one at home, be sure to bring your measurements to the hardware store and you can get a free cut for your wood. So just get it cut there for you, and then you get home and all you have to do is assemble. But
yes,
of course we will be showing you guys how we cut it here at home.
Yep. And don't forget about the legs. Our structure is not going to be sitting on the floor. It'll be raised up on some legs here, which are super nice finished wood.
So we have these natural wood color legs. You can always wood stain it, paint it, spray paint it, whatever you would like as far as your finish of the structure, but we'll be keeping ours this wood tone color. So we got the wood legs to match,
Which come with screws.
Yeah. So that is all the supplies that we need to build our plant stand. And then of course you'll need whatever plants you would like to use. Be sure if you have any pets inside of your home that your plants are non-toxic. So it did take some time to research while we were at Lowe's picking these plants, because most of the indoor plants are toxic, which is so annoying because they had so many good options.
They had some cool air purifying plants that I wanted to add to the house, and we can't.
We found some that were non-toxic and they look beautiful all together. So these are the plants we're using. We're just going to jump right into building the structure.
How the hell do these work?
Look.
Ah, okay. The legs are pre-drilled and I didn't see a template, so I'm like, how are we supposed to know where the holes are going to be when I stick this under the wood? So it looks like they have ones made for if you're going to stick it on the carpet so it doesn't slip around, and then they have felt bottom if you're going to stick it on wood or top.
Here we have a spider plant, super cool looking. So we're gonna lay all of our plants here, see how long we want this board. We've got a gigantic fern here, which looks so cool.
Blossoming and humongous. God, we're gonna slide this over a little bit.
And this last plant is an exotic angel plant called a Fittonia. I think this one looks so cool with the white lines across the leaves. And then they also have these little buds that are flowering on top. Whoa, that's too tall.
So do 5 feet.
I want it longer.
Exactly, so do 5 feet.
Yeah, because look how that smushes. You want to be sure that you're leaving enough space for if you ever change out your plants or if you want to add more plants. So I'm kind of using this as a template, but I'm going to go a little bit longer than what I have going on here. So I currently have them on a 4-foot board, and that is perfect for these plants. So I'm probably going to go 5 feet. So we're going to do 5 feet on the top and the bottom, and then let's see.
And then we'll use the 3-foot extra. So if you do 5 feet wide, you only need 2 boards. So you can use the 3-foot scrap for the sides.
It's so perfect.
I know.
So you only need 1 cut per board, which is how many that they do at hardware stores for free. They only do 1 cut.
All right, I'm excited.
That's what we're gonna do. So
let's make our measurements.
we're gonna make all of our marks and measurements on the wood and then bring you guys outside for all of our cuts.
Yo, if I'm blinking all weird, it's because I keep thinking Joe's gonna hit me in the head with that wood. Because So as you can see, one of the boards are warped. So
make sure your boards are straight, which we've told you guys plenty of times in our videos, because we're making a frame, so we want it to be as straight as possible. As you can see, this top board is warped right in the center.
Right through. I can see y'all right through it, literally. We'll see y'all outside.
Yeah, with some straight boards. Cut. We have 2
3-foot boards,
2
6-foot board, 5-foot board.
I was like, wait.
5.
All right, so 2 3-foot and 2 5-foot.
So yeah, now that we've made our cuts, we're gonna go ahead, line everything up, see how it looks, and then we're gonna pre-drill.
Should we do our legs before we assemble, or assemble then legs?
Because I don't know how the legs are gonna look, I want to assemble the square frame and then see where we're gonna place our legs.
Okay. One thing I forgot to show you guys at the beginning, I will be using one of these little screw hooks on mine because I do want to hang a hanging plant from it. So if you do want to be able to hang plants from the top of the structure, then you will need some type of hook in order to do so.
We are going to call this our bottom piece.
So for the sides, we're going to screw them in directly on top, like so, instead of
off
on
the
the
side like
side.
that. Reason being is because you're gonna have another board on top of this. You don't want the screws holding the board, so you want the board resting on the bottom structure. So the weight is distributed on the board and not being held by the screws.
Yes. You want to figure out what part's going to be your front so that you can face all of the pretty sides forward, because wood is not perfect, so some of them may have some flaws. So we can just put the flaws to the back and then have all the pretty sides facing the front. So we're gonna add 2 screws per corner. So we're gonna start off with this side corner first.
Okay, so we're gonna turn it sideways so that I'm not drilling upside down.
Of course, we're first going in with our pre-drill, and we're gonna make our holes first. Then we're gonna go in with our screws so that we don't break any of the boards or split them or...
Yeah, no cracking wood. Now you do that 4 more times.
Finished plant structure frame that we have.
And this is actually the bottom where we're gonna assemble the feet coming up this way. And so if you want to grab one of those feet, I'm going to show you all there's something we have to do before we assemble the feet. Okay, so with the legs, they gave us 4 of these, 1 for each leg. And basically, as you can see, there's 3 holes in the middle, just like there's 3 holes in the middle here. So what's going to happen is you're going to screw the leg to this, and then these 4 outer holes will be used to assemble the leg to the bottom of the wood. So you can see where there's a little rivet versus the other side where it's just flat. You want the flat part to go against the wood so that the screw sets into the rivet, or it'll sit flat on the wood. All right, so we've got 2 different length screws.
So the smaller screws are gonna go on the inside, and then the larger screws are gonna go on the outside.
And so you just want to line up the holes with the pre-drilled holes in the wood and just screw it right in.
All right, so we have all of our plates on the top of of our legs. So now we're gonna go ahead and add our 4 screws around the legs to attach them to the wood.
So we're gonna have 2 legs on each side on the end of the wood facing opposite directions.
So that they're balanced and it doesn't rock back and forth at all.
Yep, so this is gonna help stabilize the wood.
Like a V.
Yeah.
Since these do have holes inside of the plates, we are just gonna mark them and then we'll go ahead and pre-drill instead of trying to hold them in place while drilling it.
Yep, that's a great idea. Mental note that I just thought about. When you're drilling, make sure you don't drill through because you're gonna flip this over and put plants on the bottom side. So you don't want holes or screws sticking through.
Screws that came with these legs are shorter than our 2-inch board, which works perfectly because if they're longer, then they're gonna poke through the bottom.
That's the whole point of that drill bit. You undo it and it bends around things. Look, let me show you.
What the,
Look,
what the
so
hell?
let me show you guys. So I have this drill bit that Jen didn't even know existed. This angle here is tough for the drill bit to sit in. So I have this drill bit that you can remove and extend, and you can see, so it'll move around an object. So I can have it like this and still drilling.
What
So
the hell? Moment of truth, we're gonna see if this stands up.
all right, let's see if it stands. Let's see if these legs are any good. Stands up pretty good, y'all.
Oh my gosh, it looks perfectly leveled too. We're about to add our lights, our plants, and then show you on.
Mm-hmm. And Jen thinks she's gonna finally go work out.
No. All right, so we're reporting to you live in our TV.
Hey!
So we're about to add our lights. I'm first gonna plug them in. You should always do this first before installing any lights because they could be broken to begin with and then you waste your time.
We've done that a few times.
Yeah, so, bam.
Whoa, look at that wheel of light.
It comes with
These little brackets.
these little brackets that you basically attach directly onto your wood, and then the LED strip sits right inside the bracket. So
Easy enough.
we're gonna go ahead and add some of these around our frame. I'm not too sure if I want it on the sides or just the top. I'm thinking I want it all the way around.
Start like here, all the way to the other side,
Yes.
just not on the bottom.
That way we can have small plants here and they still get light as well. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do it all the way around. So we're gonna leave our bottom just like this and put our plants directly on the 2x4, but if you do want a little saucer to put on the bottom, you can attach either a plant saucer or you can even get a piece of wood, or this is a wood slice, and you can just drill it with some screws directly onto the bottom and then set your plant right onto this. That way it has a little dish to sit on. Just an extra option. So definitely get creative with this part, but we're gonna go ahead and add our lights and our little hook so that we can put our hanging plant here as well.
All right, let's get started. Here's my power cord right here, and that's gonna be the lower corner here. And then we're just gonna hide this little connector to the power cord with a plant. And so that way we'll have light from the bottom here all the way around, and then we can cut off the excess on the back end. So we're gonna do that now.
And there are cut lines on where you're able to cut the light. So if you cut it anywhere else, your light will be broken. It's not gonna work. So you wanna be sure you're always cutting it directly on a cut line. Oh wow, that actually looks pretty good. It's only gonna be like a few inches. Okay. So here's the cut line where we're going to go ahead and make our cut. As you can see, there's a little scissors line to indicate that that's where you can make a cut. So you wanna be sure that your light is unplugged. Get some heavy duty scissors or shears or some type of cutters and just cut right across that line. Now we're gonna go ahead and close it up with our edge and we're finished with our cut.
Oh, they give you an edge to close it with?
Yeah.
I was gonna say. After you've made, can you zoom out a little bit, please? After you've made your cut here, plug your lights back in and make sure they work. All right, so as you can see, we're good to go.
And you can leave the cut as is, but then it won't be waterproof, so.
Don't do that, I don't recommend it at all.
But
the wires are exposed right here.
it says that you can leave it as is, but they do give you an end cap, so I do recommend using that, not only so it's waterproof, but also so it's safe for everyone. So we're gonna go ahead and add our little heat shrink cap on the end, cut it to size, and then just use a blow dryer or some type of heat to seal that up.
Yep, so we're gonna go ahead and heat it up.
We've got a seal. Cool. All right, so there we go. Here it is with the cap. I recommend using a lighter. It works a lot quicker that way. So now that it's nice and secure and waterproof, we're gonna go ahead and add the brackets around the frame and then secure the light.
Alright guys, so we have finished with the difficult brackets.
Yes, each one needed 2 screws, so it did take a little bit of time, but the final result will be worth it.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and string the lights in. We're gonna add the hook for the plant.
And we want to place our lights first so that we see where the lights lay. Then we're going to go ahead and add our hook for the hanging plant once the light is in place. So we're going to go ahead and add our lights.
I'm excited, it's all gonna come together.
The way that you string these lights is you just put it on its side.
There's a white part and a clear part. The clear part is where the LED illuminates. So you're gonna stick the white part into the metal. And you don't wanna just start randomly in the middle. You wanna start with the power cord end on the end. Oh, it slides in really easy, guys. So the only little difficult part here is making the bend around the corner.
But we did put our bracket pretty high up on the top, and then this one pretty close to the edge so that hopefully it will help manipulate a corner with the light.
And it did.
Cool.
Perfecto.
That was the goal.
Make sure you remove your girlfriend's hairs too.
All right, now we have our light in place. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in and see it illuminated. Oh, look how pretty. I love it.
It looks so
It
good.
looks so nice. So I'm just gonna add my little hook over here on the side for my hanging plant, and then we'll show you guys the big reveal.
Right here?
Right there. Boom. So here's how our structure ended up coming out. I absolutely love it.
I think it looks awesome. It's so cool. You can do so many different things. You can hang them, you can have them down, you can have this up, and then obviously you can see you can put little smaller plants here, maybe some succulents or something.
I would definitely do some type of vines hanging some type of way around
that would
this.
be cool.
So definitely get creative. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see y'all in my next video.
Bye guys.